Hello and welcome to Nutrition by Jules. I'm Jules, bringing you all things wellness for your pregnancy and postpartum journey. And we had a mini move Monday today. It's a postpartum or pregnancy workout, short 10 to 15 minutes, just to get your body moving and feeling good in the day. If you'd like a list of exercises I'm going to do today, you can see them in the description, as well as any equipment we're going to use, which today we're using a band. Can be circular or a straight band, either would be fine, and a weight, a single weight. We've got a kettlebell. You can also have a dumbbell. How heavy that is totally up to you, but we will be able to play around with that. And also the weight is optional. So if you're not feeling like you want any weight, or if you want to hold a baby, you can always hold a baby as well. So starting with some mobility, we're going to do some pigeon rockers. So a pigeon stretch you may have done in yoga in the past. I'm going to start at all fours, put one leg straight behind me, and the other leg is going to come up in front where my knee comes towards my wrist. And I'm going to bring this foot as far up as possible, depending on how good my hip flexibility is here. I'm going to hold this position with my hands nice and solid in front of me, so I have a straight back. And I'm going to rock on my back toe. So I'm actually pushing my heel away and then coming up on my toe and rocking forward and back. So I feel this hip when I go back, getting a little love on that hip, forward and back for about 6 to 8 per side. And I can lightly step out of that, back to all four as the legs go straight, other knee towards my wrist. Bring that foot up, square my hips back, hands are planted firmly, and I'm rocking back and forth on that back toe. We got a little ankle pop too. Yes. Oh, slow it down just a little at the end. Really feeling those hips. In a good way. All right, and thread the needles next. So on to all fours. Wrists are under my shoulders and my knees under my hips. And I'm going to take one arm towards the ceiling, look up at that hand, get a nice twist in my spine, and then bring that arm through, take towards the floor, inhale back out. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale out. I'm going to do 6 to 8 of these on each side, taking my time. To twist, pushing that outer mobility on the torso and on the chest. And the other side. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, come through. Pushing just a little farther every time I come up. Oh, yes. Awesome. And then we're going to do a little banded leg lowering. So I'm going to put my foot through my band. If you have a band that you have to loop around your foot, that's fine. Just make sure you have a nice, decent grip on it. So I'm choking down here on it. My other knee is up. You could also have it straight, but I'm going to do that for stability. And I'm going to slowly lower my foot down to the ground and up, down and up. I'm really getting a hamstring stretch mostly at the top here, as well as just some general mobility as I resist against that band to drop. After I get 5 or 6 to the front, I'm going to go out to the side. I'm only going to let my leg drop as far as I can to feel this adductor stretch, and then I'm going to squeeze it back to center. So you don't have to drop it all the way down to the ground. Same here, 5 or 6. And my leg is straight, but you don't want to completely lock out either on these. And then switch sides. Look at that trick in midair. And 1, 2. So slow and controlled. This is for stretch and mobility. My foot is flexed, so I should get a little bit of ankle stretch here as well. And then out to the side. Not letting it drop all the way to the floor, but using this band to keep control. Just stretching that hip and that adductor. I am trying to keep my pelvis on the ground as I am able. Oh, yes, good. Gracefully undoing myself and coming up to a stand. My main exercises today, I'm going to start with a sumo squat. So this is a nice wide stance squat. My toes are slightly pointed out, and I'm going as wide as I can, as long as I feel stable. Not going to fall over. My balance is good, assuming that my knees can track off my toes. So if I go so wide that I have my knees collapse in, then I need to bring it in a little bit or adjust my feet so that I know I can push my knees out as I drop down. You're going to keep your chest up. Arms can be in front of you, or a little prayer position in the front. I'm going to drop my hips down and back up. My back is nice and flat. Sumo squat. And stand. So up and down for 8 to 10. If you are feeling like you want to do a little more challenge on this sumo squat, you can hold a weight to your chest or a baby. Right here. Push those knees out as you stand, fighting to keep that chest nice and tall and upright. Again, 8 to 10 sumo squats. Yeah. We're gonna do a high knee walking calf raise. Sounds complicated, it's really not. If you were gonna do a high knee skip, you'd be driving your head to the ceiling and getting your knee nice and high, and you would be driving up off your toe, but we're not actually going to skip off the ground. We're just gonna turn it into a calf raise. So we're gonna pretend like we're skipping off the ground and drive our head to the ceiling and come up on our toe. So we're stepping and driving through that foot. And we're going to do 10 of these. If you have a small space like me, you're going to go just back and forth for a couple to make this a little bit more vigorous. So again, here we go. On the toe. On the toe. I'm pumping my arms, keeping good posture, really solid core, ribs over hips, no flailing, flat back, driving off my toe. If you would like to make this a little bit more vigorous, you can take that weight we were just using from our sumo squats and put it in a front rack single side, so I can still pump with this hand. And you're going to take off same way, but with that weight. So you're going to get a little extra core stability, a little extra weight on that calf. If you're choosing the weight, then I want you to switch and do 6 to 8 per arm. If you're not doing the weight, you can do 10 to 12 total drives. Hopefully you got this all done while I was talking through it. Again, those are high knee walking calf raise. And next we're going to do frog pumps. So what these look like is it's basically a bridge. We've done glute bridges, and you may have before, so we're lying on our backs, but we're going to let our knees fall open and our feet are touching. The bottoms of my feet are touching, my knees are just falling out. And I'm going to squeeze my glutes and lift my hips, trying not to let my knees come back in and down. So it doesn't have to be much of a raise. I'm not getting crazy high off the ground, but I'm squeezing and lifting and lowering and down and down. Biggest thing to remember is that I'm keeping a nice solid torso as best I can. And as I exhale to raise, I'm really cinching in my core and bracing nice and solid as I squeeze my glutes. We're going to do 10 to 12 of these. 2 more for good measure. Here, last one. And lower. So again, slight motion, but opening the legs up as opposed to a regular glute bridge and my feet flat on the ground. Last, we're going to do push-ups. But we're going to do them elevated. If you have push-ups in your practice and you want to do them on the ground, go for it. If you do not, I want you to elevate yourself. So against a wall, here would be a pretty good position. If you haven't done many push-ups before, dropping your face towards the wall, thinking about keeping my elbows inside. And depending on your angle, I don't want you up here. I want you to be able to come with your hands. So you're angling yourself so that your chest is in line with your hands. So even if I was going higher, I'd want to try to elevate myself so that my chest is going towards my hands. As the lower I go, the harder it's going to be. So if this feels like it's too easy, you can drop down lower. Plank position, nice flat back. I'm on my toes and I'm lowering my chest towards my hands, not my face. I'm not doing this. My chest towards my hands, my elbows are in right here. So this is where your position should be no matter what angle you choose to do your push-ups at. All right. As I've been chatting again, hopefully you've been getting a few in. We're going to do 6 to 8 or as many as you can. If you are up here and you're like, okay, 3 is good, do 3. Awesome. Just see if we can't get a little push-pull going here. I'll do a few more. There's not really a great knee option with elevated, which is fine. I'd rather you modify by finding a different height for those. All right, sumo squats. I'm going to show you a few without weight and a few with weight. Here I go, pushing my knees out, tracking over my toes, bringing them in if I can't quite hold it. Dropping as low as I can, keeping my shoulders up, looking forward. Squeezing my glutes at the top so my hips come all the way through. Here's my weighted version of this. You can make noises while you do it. It helps make sure you're breathing. Yeah. And then my heel raises. Walking, pretend skip. Driving, head up, driving up on the toe. For 10 total. Didn't do 10 there because I'm going to show you a few with the weight. Using the arms to drive, even if I have the weight in my hand. Switching sides. The weight's really going to force you to think about that core engagement. As you drive up, you're going to have to really brace. Coming up and on that toe, especially with the balance a little bit off. And I'm breathing. So that weight does make a difference. So play around with using that or not. Or going a little faster if you feel good about your stability, but you don't have a weight. Just really drive and take off, or do a few more. That is always an option. The rep count is just a suggestion. And cut my breath. It's also quite warm in here. And I'm wearing pants, which is just a silly thing to do when it's hot outside. And my frog pumps. So knees are out, let them hang. Engage my shoulders back. They're not just kind of going loose, but I'm using those shoulders. I can even put my arms aside to help me brace here too. I don't want a lot of arch in my back though, so I'm going to make sure that I still have that brace where my ribs are over my hips here are stacked in a nice straight line. I guess they're not stacked on top of each other because I'm not standing up. Feet are flat together, squeeze my glutes, raise my hips. Just a slight motion off the ground. Two more. Yes. 10 to 12 of those. If you want to make this a little harder, you can put a weight right here at your hip crease. You could also elevate your heels up on something, like yay high, and then add the weight and do your frog pumps with your feet elevated. Yeah. And then our last one is back to the push-ups. So again, if you're here, or if you're here, or somewhere in between, my hands are coming down to the chest, not the face. My elbows are like at 45. Try to keep them in. We're not going like this. Right here, using our backs, using our core to help us push away. You should see the inside of your elbows popping out as you push. Awesome. Yeah, challenge yourself on those. Please don't fall on your face, though. And that's what we got for you today. Hope it felt good moving your body with me. Like and subscribe. That's what all the kids say, right? We'll see you back here next time on Mid Move Monday, Postpartum Workout with Nutrition Modules. Bye.